Have you ever felt unqualified for something you know you're called to do? Welcome to HisTime365. Today is day 230, and we're reading Jeremiah 1 through 4, where God calls an ordinary young man into extraordinary purpose and reminds us that He equips those He sends, even when they feel unready.
The Call of Jeremiah, a prophet for our times. Have you ever felt like you were called to a purpose greater than yourself? The story of Jeremiah in the first 4 chapters of the book bearing his name is a powerful reminder of how God can use ordinary people to fulfill extraordinary plans. Jeremiah, a young man from a priestly family, received an incredible calling from God. His journey began in the 13th year of King Josiah's reign, a time when the nation of Judah was struggling with moral decay and spiritual waywardness. God spoke to Jeremiah, saying, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee." Jeremiah 1 verse 5. This declaration emphasizes that God has a plan for each of us, even before we come into existence. It's a comforting thought, isn't it? We are not random accidents, we are intricately designed with purpose. Initially, Jeremiah was overwhelmed. He felt unqualified, stating, "I am a child." Can you relate? Perhaps you've faced moments in your life where you felt inadequate for the task ahead of you, whether it was starting a new job, leading a team, or even parenting. God reassured Jeremiah that He would be with him and that he should not fear. This encouragement is relevant for us today. When we step out of our comfort zones, we can trust that God will equip us for the journey. As God continued to speak to Jeremiah, He showed him visions of a boiling pot and an almond tree. The boiling pot represented the coming judgment on Judah, while the almond tree symbolized God's watchful eye over His word to fulfill it. These images were not just for Jeremiah, they were also for the people of Judah, who needed to understand the seriousness of their situation. They had turned away from God, embracing idols and injustice. It's a sobering reflection of how easy it can be to stray from our convictions in today's world. In chapter 2, God's lament over His people becomes evident. He recalls how He had lovingly brought them out of Egypt and into a good land, yet they forsook Him. "What iniquity have your fathers found in me?" God asks. This question resonates in our lives as we consider how we respond to the blessings we receive. Have we become complacent or taken our blessings for granted? In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of our gratitude and commitment. Jeremiah's message wasn't just about judgment, it was also a call to return. He urged the people to acknowledge their sins and turn back to God. In our daily lives, we might face similar calls, perhaps when we're reminded to reconnect with our values or reassess our priorities. For instance, in our busy work lives, it's crucial to pause and evaluate whether our actions align with our core beliefs. Are we making ethical choices, treating others with respect, and remaining truthful in our dealings? The urgency of Jeremiah's call intensified in chapter 3, where God invites Israel to return to Him despite their unfaithfulness. He paints a picture of a loving father yearning for his wayward children. This imagery of divine love can be incredibly comforting for anyone who's ever felt lost or estranged, whether in relationships, financial struggles, or even mental health battles. The assurance that there's always a path back to grace is something we can all hold on to. In the 4th chapter, Jeremiah warns of impending disaster if the people do not repent. He uses vivid language to describe the consequences of their actions, likening their hearts to those needing spiritual cleansing. It's a stark reminder that our hearts must be open to God's guidance. In practical terms, this might mean actively seeking forgiveness, recognizing our shortcomings, or even letting go of grudges that weigh us down. As we reflect on Jeremiah's message, think about your own life. Are there areas where you need to realign your priorities? Whether it's dedicating more time to family, addressing mental health needs, or managing finances with integrity, the call to return to a path of righteousness is timeless. We can learn from Jeremiah's boldness and commitment to his mission, even when facing opposition. In conclusion, the story of Jeremiah teaches us about the importance of listening to our calling. God has placed each of us on a unique journey, and while we may feel unprepared at times, He equips us for what lies ahead. The takeaway here is simple yet profound. God has a purpose for you. Trust Him to guide you. How do you relate to Jeremiah's feelings of inadequacy when faced with a significant task? In what ways can we actively seek to return to our core values in our daily lives? What are some practical steps you can take to ensure that you are listening to God's calling in your life?
Thanks so much for joining me today for HisTime365. Remember, today's reading is Jeremiah 1 through 4, so be sure to spend some time with those verses during your quiet time. Tomorrow, we'll be diving into Jeremiah 5 through 7, so feel free to read ahead if you'd like to prepare. If you enjoyed this time together, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so that you never miss a day on this journey. I'll see you back right here tomorrow for day 231. Until then, stay encouraged, and thank you for giving God His time today.